اليوم نهضنا من جديد كشعب واحد في وجه الخيانة والفساد. لقد حان الوقت الآن لإظهار قوتنا الحقيقية. إنهم يقولون من حجم تعظيمنا، دعنا نظهر إننا لن نخاشمهم.
In this video, I will be talking about an antagonist in Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare, Asad. We will go over his goals, his characters, and his faction so we could fully understand this villain. So, without further ado, let's get into it. It's best that we start from the very beginning, that being the mission, the Coup, in COD 4. We are introduced to Asad and his faction when we see a military coup taking place in Saudi Arabia when the acting president, Yasser al-Fulani, is kidnapped. And during this kidnapping, we see Al-Assad's faction or his army taking over the area. We then hear Al-Assad's speech going on all throughout the city. We also see the imprisonment and execution of civilians as well. And his speech is really important for this video, so we are definitely gonna revisit that in a second. When Yasser al-Fulani gets delivered to Al-Assad, he's executed on national TV by Al-Assad for the whole world to see. Although Al-Assad's army appears in all the Middle East missions, this one, or the Coup, is the one that reveals the most about Al-Assad and his army. Because while Yasser al-Fulani is being delivered to Al-Assad, we hear his reasoning, that being the current president is essentially corrupt and selling out their country. Al-Assad starts with, "Today we rise as one nation in the face of betrayal and corruption." Then he continues with, "We all trusted this man to deliver our great nation into a new era of prosperity. But like our monarchy before the revolution, he has been colluding with the West with only self-interest at heart. Collusion breeds slavery, and we shall not be enslaved. The time has come to show our true strength. They underestimate our resolve. Let us show that we do not fear them. As one people, we shall free our brethren from the yoke of foreign oppression. Our armies are strong and our cause is just. As I speak, our armies are nearing their objectives by which we will restore the independence of a once great nation. Our noble crusade has just begun. Just as they lay waste to our country, we shall lay waste to theirs." This is how it begins. And just if you're curious, the speech is the exact same in the remaster and the original game, but I'm pretty sure in the remaster it's just worded a little bit differently, but the translation is exactly the same. This speech really tells us for the most part what his intentions are, being that he wants to be completely closed off from the West due to being oppressed and having corrupt government officials sell out his country. So now it really makes sense why Zakhaev used Al-Assad the way he did, because they have the same views and really similar goals.
Our so-called leaders prostituted us to the West, destroyed our culture, our economies, our honor. Our blood has been spilled on our soil. My blood on their hands. They are the invaders. All US and British forces will leave Russia immediately or suffer the consequences.
Here, let me lay it out for you if you are confused or disagree. They both think their countries are being sold out to the West. They both look at the US or the West as invaders. They both also want to expand their countries. Al-Assad wants to unite the whole Arabian Peninsula, and Zakhaev wants to restore the Soviet Union. There are more similarities, but these are the most important ones. Al-Assad and his army think they have to show their true strength and rise up against the West by taking control and killing Yasser al-Fulani, who they think is a puppet of the West. This also aligns to what Al-Assad said about not fearing the West, because this is like a giant fuck you to the West, and also it's like a giant fuck you that they start taking over some of the Arabian Peninsula countries, which in turn disrupts some of the US's oil supply. And to be honest, Al-Assad might not be the bad guy, minus the execution on national TV and the nuke and taking over the countries. He's actually not really in the wrong, minus those three things, of course. Now, who really is Al-Assad? He was born on May 1st, 1963 in Saudi Arabia and joined the Tigers of the Revolution, or commonly known as Op 4 or Opposition Forces, and rose through the ranks and became the commander of the faction. And this is also when he started to rock that beret and sunglasses, definitely making himself stick out more from the common Op 4 soldier. Nothing is really known about his younger years or his childhood, so that's really about it for his background. He's also someone who sees his country as being taken advantage of by foreign nations and corrupt government officials, so he seizes control with his fellow countrymen or his army so that will not happen no more and his nation could prosper. Now let's talk about the expansion, because that's really what it is, and I'm just gonna call it that. After gaining power in Saudi Arabia with his army, he essentially tries to take over the whole Arabian Peninsula to form one super nation. And around this time, US forces close in to stabilize the region, because without their involvement, Al-Assad most likely would have taken over the whole Arabian Peninsula. And if you disagree with that, let me explain. Al-Assad had his own actual army, not like an insurgency or guerrilla fighters. These guys had actual tanks, helicopters, good guns, equipment, etc. So they really could stand a good fighting chance against most countries. Plus, they were being backed by Russian ultranationalist Imran Zakhaev, who literally gave them a nuke. So yeah, without the US involvement, those other countries were most likely fucked. And after some fighting with the US, Al-Assad decides to use a nuclear weapon by tricking the US into thinking they're closing in on him when they're really closing in on a bomb. And even though it's discovered to be a nuke, all the US forces in the area can't evacuate in time and were killed, including all of Al-Assad's soldiers in the area. Al-Assad was soon hunted down by Western forces and killed, but he was extremely close to achieving his goals. Now, I kinda got a what if for you, and just picture this, right? Imagine if Zakhaev never died and was able to keep funding Al-Assad's army. Now, I think Al-Assad dying was unavoidable after the nuke and the death of so many Marines, but just think of Zakhaev not actually being killed, and you realize that's a lot more plausible. Because let's be honest, they really should have failed at killing Zakhaev. The only reason they killed him was because of the plot. As much as I love COD 4, that's just facts. So then it would have been Zakhaev's ultranationalists that finally rose to power and would have been backing the Tigers of the Revolution. The official Russian government backing the Tigers of the Revolution, or Op 4. That would have made World War III a lot more interesting in modern warfare. So now that I've kind of established everything, even through a what if scenario in there, there's nothing really left for me to talk about. It's very simple to say what his goals actually are, and it's just complete solidarity from the West and to make his nation prosper by any means, by bringing the whole Arabian Peninsula together as a super nation. And those are the true intentions of Al-Assad. Definitely a fascinating Call of Duty villain, and really just think, if the US did not involve themselves in the Middle East, that would have played out so much differently that I honestly think World War III would have been completely different. Well, maybe not completely, but like 60 to 70% different. So, thank you so much for watching.